Welcome to the channel. So, how are y'all today? We are going to be discussing how to know if you are a goddess or a god. Because a lot of people ask me, well, how do I know? Or how do I work with this? And how do I set up an altar? And, what goddesses and deities do you work with? And how do we honor this? And how do we honor that? Okay. So, this video is to tell you that it is up to you to accept your god or goddess status and to claim it within yourself. Okay. It's not something that someone can teach or tell you, or you can, um, worship. It's just something that you already have to decide to be within yourself. It's a decision, basically. So, since we are able to have free will, most things that we do is a choice. So if you don't feel as if you are able to be a god or a goddess, um, it's literally your choice. You don't feel that you have that option, or something is blocking you from feeling that you should have that option. Okay, so if you don't already feel like this as a man or a woman, it's because there's something blocking you from making that choice. Either it's fear, either it's brainwashing, either it's, a set of beliefs that you don't really understand, but you just follow. So, whatever it is that is blocking you from attaining your goddess or god status, that means either you have to work on those things or relearn everything you know. Okay. But in your own way. So you basically would have to, if your belief system says that you are not divine, then you may have to reteach yourself a lot of things so that you feel that you are divine or you are a goddess or a god. Okay. So if you can't do that, then that's what you need to work on. If you have a hard time believing in yourself or believing that you are divine or knowing that you are divine, because there are a lot of different words that people will use: knowing, believing, vibrating, whatever. If you can't vibrate as a god or a goddess, that's what needs to be the focus. So a lot of times people don't. Okay, the best thing I can tell you to start with is the outside, because most of us relate more to the material world, right? So start with the outside if you can't start with the inside. A lot of people don't feel as if they are a goddess. So you start with the outside. Look like one. Try to look like what you would feel that a goddess would or a god would look like on the outside. Start with that first. How would they look? How would they present themselves every day? What would they wear? What type of jewelry would they wear? How would they look? What would they do? Okay. What would be, their daily activities? Um, then that's where you start, and then you work your way to, feeling like one. Okay. For men, the same thing. Once you feel like a god, you got to walk, talk, and act like one. If you want to feel like one. Okay. A lot of people don't like this mentality because it makes other people feel less than, or it may give off overconfident, or it may give off narcissist. It may give off, conceited. But The very same qualities that people shun are the same exact qualities that they worship in most of their religions. So I'm going to repeat that for the people that couldn't hear. The very same qualities that people shun in normal people who claim their God and goddesshood are the very same qualities in the types of deities or the God that they actually worship. Those are the same exact qualities. Okay. So if you can't accept those qualities in other people or within yourself, and you talk trash about it and you say that it's wrong, then you're talking about the same very God that you actually worship. Okay. Because a lot of times people teach you, especially in movies or stories, people teach you, oh, if God or goddess were to come to earth, they would be humble. They would be this, they would be that. Because they would have to be in disguise. They would have to be incognito, right? And they would have to be undetectable, right? And so that should tell you if someone is having to be on earth undetectable and having to be humble, that means as a god or a goddess, when they are claiming their divinity, that they're neither of those things. See? So the very qualities that people say are bad are the qualities that they worship. So this is how you could get out of feeling like you aren't deserving of being a god or a goddess. And remember, if people can claim different pronouns, if people can claim to be whatever they want, then what is so terrible about claiming to be a goddess or a god? When people say, what are your pronouns? What are you going to say? Goddess. Okay. Period. That's what you got to say. Goddess. Okay. Ma'am, you said Shira fan. How to see myself as a goddess when I'm in fight or flight, working 12-hour days, stress job, husband doesn't desire me, but baby to care. Okay, well, what goddess is a busy goddess? Find one of those. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You know, so all that stress that you have, right? All those things that you are claiming are human things. Those aren't goddess things. Okay. If you want to claim goddess, you need to simplify that lifestyle and do less work or make the work more pleasurable. Okay. And if your husband doesn't desire you, then somebody else will, baby. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Or if your husband doesn't like what you look like or want to be with you, somebody else will. Okay. No problems. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Because I know if you're working 12 hours a day and you're married, your husband didn't marry you for what you look like. Just being honest. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. Be like, you got to look like a goddess, first of all. Then you can claim it. Think about this. If someone were to get on television and claim that they were a goddess, but they didn't look like one, no one would believe. Get it? Okay? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Same with the God. If someone got on TV and said, I'm God, or I am a God, even Kanye, I am a God. Who gonna believe it? If they don't have nothing to back it up, man. Sparkle, sparkle. Appreciate that. So that's what I'm saying. Get the look together first. Get the look together. Sprinkle, sprinkle. He said he married me for your personality because you had a beautiful soul. Okay, well then he lied. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Then if he loves you that much, quit your job, man. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I don't think that he married you for your personality, man. I think he married you because you work 12 hours a day. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm just being honest with you. No, you don't need to be lied to. So your personality and all that good stuff, right? Okay, so that's nice. But also because you work many hours. Okay. Um, if you don't work a lot, then you might have time to work on being a goddess. Um, mm, 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 mm. Every time you listen to these lives, you learn something. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yes. So let me talk to the men. So men, no one's going to respect you or believe that you're a god, especially as a woman, if you don't have what gods are supposed to have. You know, if you don't have confidence within yourself, if you don't have access to whatever you have need access to in order to, uh, you know, live the lifestyle of a god or a goddess, then no one's going to believe that. So that's what you need to be working towards. You know what I mean? Because in this reality, status and god or goddess definitely can't portray something that is weak or less than in any you know, you know anything that's important. So claiming that whichever you know type of goddess or god you want to represent within yourself, that's the one you need to choose, and that's the one you need to choose to represent. All right. You said man build a workshop. A workshop. Well, I think a lot of men don't build stuff anymore. I think they just hire people because they don't have those skills anymore. They're unskilled. They're unable to do those types of things. So, uh, okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Um, Another way is to learn as much as you can about certain things that make you goddess-like or godlike, and to help others find their divinity within themselves. Okay, and that's a really good way. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. All right, yes. So, sprinkle, sprinkle. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks, or super stickers, whatever. Appreciate y'all. So, a lot of times people don't realize that if you just create your own version of what a god or a goddess is within yourself, that's what you are. And who can argue with you if someone can walk around and claim that they're whatever pronoun that they choose. Who's going to argue with you? That's your right now. Okay. So look at it that way. If people can walk around and just choose how they want to, you know, if people can walk around and just say, these are my pronouns, then so can you, goddess or God. That's it. And when you do that, start literally using, if you come up with a different name for yourself, that's a god or a goddess, start using that name in something like I said in my other video. Start using those names and start referring to yourself as god or goddess as often as you can to whoever will listen. And that's how you become more and more of a god or a goddess. Okay. And remember, oh, sprinkle, sprinkle, Fabule, sprinkle, sprinkle, thanks for the super sticker. So a lot of people will walk around and claim that they're this or they're that. And those things will be very negative. So just do the opposite and claim everything that you would like to, represent and be. That's what you're going to be. Oh, sprinkle, sprinkle. Appreciate that. Super chat. There is a girl on LinkedIn that enter your majesty in the pronoun part of her profile. A lot of people identify as whatever they choose to identify these days. That's our choice. It's always been our choice. We just never thought that we were able to do so. You know what I'm saying? So now people are making it okay to say, whatever you want to say. Now people are saying it's fine to identify as this, and that. But the one funny thing is, like, when you try to get on like one of these social media platforms and they have the pronouns that you can identify as, they don't have the option of god or goddess. So just put it in your name. Okay. And that's it. That's literally it. That is easy. So anyone can be a god or a goddess. There's nothing special about what it takes. You just have to know. Yeah. You do whatever you want to be. You can choose to be one or not. Up to you. And if you do choose to represent as a god or a goddess, then don't allow people to make you feel a certain way about it because they haven't gotten to experience being a god or a goddess. When they experience it, then, they'll know. He said, how do god or goddesses view other goddesses, women? In most stories, they're always sisters or, someone that is of equal status, sprinkle, sprinkle. Appreciate that. So you got to always make sure that if you are saying, seeing someone over there that is claiming to be a goddess, basically all they did was make the same choice that you made in their own lives. So it doesn't really matter. It's like someone who has bought the same book, right? And knows the same thing. It's someone that knows the same thing that you know, or maybe they don't know, but they just like, the goddess feel or the goddess status. So a goddess sees herself and doesn't compare herself to others. You know what I mean? That's one more thing. Like, they don't need the permission of others. They don't need the opinions of others. They don't care what other people think. So that's part of it. If you still care about all those things, you're not really a goddess or god. You're just pretending. So once you get to that type of thinking, then you definitely are going to be God or goddess. All right. Sprinkle, sprinkle. How to deal with identity crisis or trying to find your own identity as a goddess. Usually it's already your own identity that you have had always. Okay. You're just claiming your own goddess status. You know what I'm saying? It's your own identity. It's just, you're just going to claim goddess status. So, for example, it's like you are who you are, but you're also a goddess. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Mm-hmm. That's right, ladies. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You know, a lot of people would be better if they did, you know, allow themselves to feel a certain way and vibrate a certain way because their lives would definitely improve instead of always, you know, just claiming something that they don't really want. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Mm-mm-mm-mm. You said you worked on your confidence. That's what, you know, you're supposed to feel like a goddess. Like, who wants to walk around feeling less than how they want to feel? I don't think that's, I don't think that they should. Okay. Men, I think men are more, um, I think men are more able to feel as if they are a god or something like that because society allows them to feel more superior in a way. But at the same time, they don't make women feel that way. So as a woman or as, you know, a goddess, you need to feel that way on your own without permission and don't care what other people think. Okay. So you said, imagine having an ex-wife who saw how easily you could accomplish things if you wanted, but you just wanted a regular life. That type of thing would frustrate her over time if she didn't understand you. Exactly. Um, that's true. And like a lot of men who are able to accomplish a lot and don't choose to or want to, it's because they don't have the type of husband or wife, I'm sorry, the type of wife that they have to accomplish those things for. You know what I'm saying? There are women and men who are at a certain status that anybody would want to keep rising and accomplishing more in order to, um, you know, be able to even communicate with or to be on the same level with. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times people are not trying to accomplish more because they don't feel like they're with the type of person that it matters to. Okay. Even if it's just, if even if they're single, if they wanted to accomplish more, they would probably would want, you know, someone to be able to appreciate it with or be proud of. You know, a lot of people that are single do things to make their parents proud. A lot of people that are married do things to make sure that they're on, you know, some type of status level with their spouse or whoever. A lot of people do things single just, you know, because they want to, and they want to prove themselves. So it just depends on what you are doing, whatever you're doing for, especially as a man. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Anyway, so everyone should be a goddess or a god within themselves all the time. Mm-hmm. What does a goddess think about when she first wakes up or goes to bed? Whatever she wants. Okay. She thinks about whatever she wants. She thinks about basically whatever she thinks about, is what I'm saying. Not particularly what she would like to have, but she has the free will to think about whatever she chooses to. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Do it. She thinks whatever she chooses to think. Okay. If you guys are okay, a lot of you guys have um so many questions about things that you should already have answered within yourselves. Because if you are wanting to be a god or a goddess yourself, then you don't need permission, and you know you don't really have too many rules. Okay. As a goddess or a god, you don't have a religion. As a goddess or a god, you you're the highest, and you are where you are at the exact same time. uh, you're multidimensional, and you don't worry about silly things that most humans worry about. You have no fear, and you literally are just living how you choose to live, basically. However you choose to live, that's how you live. It could change anytime. And you don't believe in things that are for humans. Okay. So when you get to this status, it's going to be very hard for you to make friends or date, because if that person that you're dating or friends with aren't on the goddess or god level, you're not gonna you're not gonna get along. Okay. You're not gonna get along. It's gonna be like, no. So that's why certain people cannot date long term, because they're not on that level of thinking, and some people can because they meet each other and they're like, okay, I see you. You're on your god status, and you're on your goddess status. Yes. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So make sure that you're understanding, you know, all of those things that you believe as a human, you don't have to believe in as a god or a goddess. Okay. You said, when is a man in his God status? When he chooses to be, and when people are in agreement with it. So, for example, someone can't just stand up and say, I'm a god or a goddess, unless they have people that are able to say, yeah, well, I get why they think they're a god, or I get why they think they're a goddess, without saying, oh, that person's just crazy. But even if they aren't able to, materially or financially live as a god or a goddess, if they feel that they are mentally, then who knows? Maybe they could be the god or goddess of their own status. Who cares? Yeah. Yeah, but you got to claim that. Because in this day and age, why would you want to be anything less? Why would you want to be anything less? That's my question. If you can be a they, them, she, her, it, they, why wouldn't you just choose God or goddess as well? You could be anything you want. You know how people say, oh, you grow up, you could be anything you want. Why not just be a goddess? Okay. It's okay for you to say I can be the president. It's okay for you to say I can be, you know, a movie star. It's okay to say I could be a singer. It's okay to say I could be this or I could be that. You can't be God. You can't be a goddess. Why not? Exactly. Do what choose what you want. So many people are trying to figure out, especially young people, trying to figure out what they want to be when they grow up, what they want to do when they grow up, the career that they want to choose. People start identifying themselves with the work that they do, the career that they chose, the status of life that they live. They start to identify with their job. They start to identify with their life chores. They start to identify with, their status and how, what they do every day instead of just a god or a goddess. So people are literally losing their identity in their chores. When you ask someone, oh, or when you introduce yourself to someone and they start asking you all these stupid questions about what buttons you push, what company you work for, who you earn money for, they're not asking you about yourself. They're asking you, what functions do you perform in someone else's world? If someone asks me, I'm going to say I'm a goddess. And they're going to be like, huh? Sprinkle, sprinkle. So, yeah, don't ask me what buttons I push. Don't ask me what company I work or earn money for because I don't have any of those. You ask me, I'm going to say I'm a goddess. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You ask people, when people introduce themselves to you and they say hi, and then they give you their name and then their occupation. I don't care what you do. Do you have money or not? There you go. You said how to know what you want to know how to be a goddess as a trans woman. Um, in this society, you can be whatever you want. If you want to be a goddess, choose your character exactly. Be a goddess. You want to be a god, be a god. You want to be both, be both. Right? Or just be a goddess. Or just make up a whole nother word for it. Mm-hmm. Make up a word, baby. If you don't like the word god or goddesses, make up another word. Mm-hmm. And for guys, y'all should have no problem with that. Y'all already feel like y'all supposed to be, on a high level. So that shouldn't be no problem for men. For women, you need to be on a higher level. Okay. Within, you know what I'm saying? Be who, like, embrace the goddess that you already are. Hmm. Embrace the goddess that you already are. You already are. You either are or you not. You choose. Honestly, I can't answer any questions for people. Those are definitely your choices as individual people to claim whatever you want to claim yourself as. When I said people have free will and choices, that means I'm not supposed to give those to you. That means you're not supposed to get my opinion on whatever it is that you choose, you know? So that's what I'm saying. When you choose to be a god or a goddess, you don't need permission, opinions, or thoughts from anyone about what you chose. Okay? Literally. So, sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you. Yes. And also, just like a god or a goddess, you don't have to recognize, you don't have to answer people that you don't want to answer. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to. You do what you want. So, know that too. Hmm. The sooner that people just claim their own goddess and their own god within themselves, the easier life is going to be for them. The better life is going to be for them. Instead of asking a million questions about other people, just claim I'm a god or a goddess and go do whatever you want. That's literally it. So, you said it's liberating. It is. It's something like, I'm a goddess. Now what? Everything changes when you claim your own divinity. Everything changes. How people approach you, how people talk to you, how people treat you, how you treat yourself. All of those things change for the better. Hmm. If they don't, then then it's because no one has claimed their divinity that is, and that you're dealing with. And so it's important to make sure everyone claims their own divinity, right? Claim your own individual identity as a god or a goddess. And that's all you'll have to ever do again. You won't feel any type of needing of permission or any of that for anything. You're just going to be able to freely live your life as a god or a goddess. Okay? And that's it. Okay. So, never there are okay, so I'm gonna help some of the people that don't feel worthy of claiming the title god or goddess. I'm gonna help y'all. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Appreciate that. I'm going to tell people who don't feel worthy of claiming the status as a god or a goddess. I'm going to tell y'all, it's not up to anyone else but you. It's not up to anyone else because you have to claim that on your own. And if you don't feel that way, about yourself because of something that you've done or something that you haven't done or something that you failed at or something that you're, regret or whatever. That's your human side. That's your human side. When you claim your divinity and your god or goddess status, that stuff doesn't matter anymore. Okay? That stuff don't matter no more. Once you claim your divinity, it doesn't matter if you made a mistake. It doesn't matter if you did something wrong. It doesn't matter if you failed at something. It doesn't matter. When you choose to claim your divinity, then you are divine, period. None of that other stuff matters. So give yourself the greatest gift that you can and claim your own divinity. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right. So definitely, y'all are silly. Stop thinking as a human in order to accept your divinity. Okay. I know a lot of y'all can do that. It's very easy. So. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said you like thinking as an alien. Well, who invented aliens? Who invented aliens? Y'all know? Mm-hmm. So, who invented an alien, baby? A lot of people don't realize who invented an alien. You said H.G. Wells. You said humans. Did humans invent aliens? Or did gods and goddesses invent aliens? Or create or invent, whatever you want to say. So whoever. Mm-hmm. You said in your country people are ignorant. Would you move or make the best out of it? The funny thing is, I don't know what country you live in. And I also don't realize, I don't know what country you live in, but I really wouldn't care because I don't even talk to that many people. I don't even talk to people. So it wouldn't even matter at all. Because if you're a goddess or a god, you're multi-dimensional. You're multi everything. So it doesn't even matter. You can get people to think whatever you want them to think, and you claim your divinity. So you can literally change the thoughts of others by claiming your divinity, like I do all the time. I change the thoughts of people all the time to what they should be or what they could be. A lot of people don't even have their own thoughts, especially if y'all are always on social media. Everything that you do is probably something that you think you should be doing because of social media, or because someone's told you something, or someone that you admire is doing something. So what are your original thoughts? What do you want to teach the world, or to teach those nearby? Mhm. A lot of people fear being themselves. I think a lot of people, I don't know if they fear being themselves. I think they don't know how to be. Like, some people don't know how to be who they are. And when they are who they are, other people criticize them for being too much of who they are. Do you know how many times that I've been criticized for being who I am? Mhm. Mhm. And I never changed because I didn't care, because I'm a goddess and I don't listen to humans. Okay. So therefore, if you allow people to tell you who you are and to criticize you until you do something and change or whatever, if you didn't choose it on your own, or if you did not create your own way of doing things, and people constantly want to tell you how to better yourself, how to do this, how to do that, what to change about yourself, what to do, da, 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 you're not even yourself. That's why on the other channel, and sometimes on this channel, when people start suggesting stuff in the comments that I do, as if I hadn't already thought of those things or whatever, or if they're more critical, as if I wanted to change those things, I have enough money to do all of those things. If I haven't done it yet, it's because I choose not to. And so a lot of people don't realize that when they start telling people they should do this, and that, you're wasting your breath, especially if it's a person who claims their own divinity. Just waste of time and energy and typing and whatever. Only insecure people will listen to those types of things. Okay? Only insecure people will listen to those types of things because they care about what humans think. And gods and goddesses could care less. Mm-hmm. You said, are men attracted to confidence? Are they? The goddesses don't need instruction. We don't need suggestions. We don't need any of those things unless we choose to learn ourselves or teach ourselves or allow ourselves to know. Mhm. So just choose, and that's what you'll be. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Appreciate that. You said your bank statement would determine how you look. No, there's some ugly people that got a lot of money. They just choose to stay ugly, or they choose to look how they choose to look. Because once you claim your own divinity as a god or a goddess, if you want to change how you look, you can. If you don't have to, because you are already a divine being. So it doesn't even matter. Mm-hmm. Okay, but do you need to get off of you would be a very moody goddess? Um, well, if you are a moody goddess, then you're a moody goddess. So be it. Be a moody goddess. Claim your moody goddess status. Either way, still divine. Still goddess. You say you still a baby in this. You're not ready to take on the responsibility of claiming to be divine, but I'm claiming that my divine energy and realizing I deserve better. Okay. If your parents have claimed their own divinity, then you're already naturally born a god or a goddess, whether you want to or not. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a parent that claims their own god or god status, goddess or god status, whatever children you produce are naturally going to be gods or goddess. Okay? Yes. Um, but at the same time, like you don't worship gods and goddesses because you are a god and goddess. What do you see other goddesses worshiping other goddesses? No, you don't. You just, you see people be like, yeah. But if you're a god or goddess, you don't worship other gods or goddesses. Mm-mm. Thank you. Then maybe I need to accept it and claim it and grow with it. Yeah, no. Claim your divinity and grow with your divinity, your own divinity. Yes. Hmm. So you told all you're told all the time from guys that you look, but you walk, act like a goddess, but lately you've been told that you don't know the power I possess. Truth is, I've been holding back from feeling greedy. Truth is, I've been holding back from feeling greedy. Well, honestly, if you don't need anything, then you're not holding back from being greedy at all. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't need something, it's hard to be greedy. You know what I'm saying? So you just be pretending and you really won't even feel that. You won't even be vibrating greed if you don't even need it. You need your okay. Well, so if you're not greedy, you're not greedy. And I don't feel people possess power. I feel people who are not claiming their divinity feel like that they can or cannot possess power. If you are just divine, You don't have to possess anything. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right. There you go. Yes. Very true. Mhm. All right. All right. So sprinkle, sprinkle. What you do is not who you are exactly. I don't know how many people need to know that. So, who claims their own divinity within themselves? If not, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. I like when people claim their own divinity because it's because you're not trained. You know what I'm saying? You're not under someone else. You're not brainwashed. You don't need permission. You know what I'm saying? So when you're gonna talk to someone, you need to talk to someone on, you know, you need to talk to someone who's not going to cringe every time you don't care, you don't need permission, you do what you want. You know what I'm saying? You need to talk to someone that's not going to be offended by your divine, status. You need to talk to someone that's not going to be, you know, judging you because you think you're a god or a goddess. That's what I'm saying, because a lot of people will sit there and judge you for being a god and goddess and then turn around and go worship a god who feels even more powerful or divine or whatever than the person you were just speaking with. So if you're not able to, be on the same level as someone who thinks and feels and lives their life in their divine status, and you think when you die you're going to go to heaven, how are you going to live in the same place with another god or a goddess? Are you going to be their slave? What you going to be doing up in heaven? You know what I'm saying? What you going to be doing? You going to have a king? You going to bow down? What you going to do? You're not going to have equal status? What is your status going to be once you get there? That's why I'm saying claim your divinity and stop being silly. You said, how do you take from other goddesses without worshiping? If you're a god or a goddess, you don't need to take anything. That's a silly question. You don't need to take anything because you already can create whatever you want. All right, sprinkle, sprinkle. And so you never stop. You're never supposed to take anything from anyone if you are divine. You just, if they give it to you, great. If they don't, then you don't need to take it because you can create it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Mm-hmm. That's right. You got to make sure that you are of your own divinity. Let me ask y'all a question. Y'all believe in the God in the Bible? Who created that God in the Bible? Or did they just appear and claim to be God and start doing stuff and creating? Mm-hmm. There you go. So just do what you want. Be a god or a goddess or don't be. It doesn't matter. It's your choice. People want to be divine or people want to be human. Do what you want. Right. A lot of people don't realize this because they've been brainwashed by religion. And a lot of people don't like people who claim to be divine and they say, oh, it's blasphemous, but then they go worship someone who claims to be divine. This is funny. It's like the joke is on them. The joke is literally on them because they're sitting up there saying, oh, no, that's blasphemy that you say that you're a god or a goddess, and then they go worship a god who says the exact same thing. Make it make sense, because it don't. You said a group of men, well, whatever. So a lot of people, especially if you practice magic, if you do whatever you need to do. I never collab with anybody. Sparkle. Not on it. I'm not collabing with anyone anymore. People are weird. If people can claim their divinity, I have no issues with them at all. But when they're upset because you claim yours, or they don't want you to claim it, or they don't want you to feel how you feel, or whatever, there's something a little bit wrong and off about that. Like they should be, I don't know who that person was you mentioned, because I don't know who they are. No offense to them or anything, because I just don't know who they are. But I think a lot of people want to claim their divinity, but they're afraid. So don't be afraid. Just claim your own personal divinity. All right, there you go. You said no more collaborations. I got a few collaborations, but because of who I am and how I talk and what I claim, I took a lot of them off. I took a lot of them out of the channel. Because a lot of people don't agree with that. They feel some sort of way about it. So I just take them off. If you don't agree, you got to go. Or if you have an issue with it, you got to go. Or sometimes you just got to go, because if I say something and it's offensive to a lot of people, I don't want you to get the slack from it. So I just take them off. Right. Like, is there a book that I recommend on self-divinity? Yeah, your book, the one that you write saying that you are a god or a goddess, if you should write one. You don't need a book. You just need to say I am or I'm not. Okay. It should be as easy as saying that you're a human. That's how easy it should be. It should be as easy as saying I'm a human. It should be as easy as claiming whatever gender you identify as. It should be as easy as claiming whatever nationality that you claim. It should be that easy. If it's not, that should tell you something. If it's that easy to claim everything else, why is it not so easy to claim your own divinity? Who taught you not to claim it? They teach you to claim everything else except for that one thing. But why? And then look at here. Look at here. Let me tell y'all something about claiming your own divinity. Y'all gonna claim it quick after this. I'm gonna show you. Hold up. Oh no. I don't have it. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna put this up here. Oops. Okay, it says in God we trust, right? Who is we? And who's speaking? Okay. And then on here it's over the White House. In God we trust. But over it, it says the United States of America. The United States of America. Are you American? You American? Does that say that on y'all's money? Exactly. Does it say it anywhere on the front? I can't see. So if you are American, and it says the United States of America, and then underneath it it says in God we trust. But there's like this weird tree. Look like a tree. Hold on. There's like these trees and clouds or sky or something around it. So I'm claiming my divinity. Because if they're putting this on money, and it says, in God we trust, the United States of America, and you think you're a god or a goddess, and they trust in God, they trust within you, then what are you over? What are you over? What do you have the power to control? Money. Right? You got the power to control the president, the White House. Look at this. Whatever building that is. This. So claim your divinity. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So you know how they say be the change you want to see in the world? Then do that. That's why I'm claiming mine, because I do what I want. Okay, you said the Lincoln Memorial? Okay. Good, yeah. You over that too. That's a memorial. It's a symbol of death. You're over death. You over death, and you over the presidency, the White House. So claim your divinity. Okay, you over all of this. You own it, claim it. So when you start talking about money, then people ain't got no problem. No problem claiming their divinity. Oh, sweet money. Yes. I'm over the White House. I'm over the death. I'm over a memorial. I'm over everything. What else? I don't have any other cash right there, but I have some somewhere else. But if you just look at your money and read it, like you might as well claim your divinity, because you can claim all of this. Okay. A lot of people are trying to get rid of cash and have cashless society, right? Because on these dollars, it says in God we trust, and the pictures on there. Very powerful. The images are very powerful. So keep you some cash. And keep you some cash, baby. Sprinkle, sprinkle. A lot of people keep it in their bra or their pockets. Or their, wherever. Okay. You said blue faces sound like avatars. This must be the old money because I ain't got no blue face. I got old money. Literally, I have old money. No. You see, people think America built on Christianity. No, it ain't built on Christianity. Well, Christianity is built on pagan religions. And then everything the occult uses and symbolism is from pagan religion or whatever. So it doesn't even matter. Okay. You said, have I dissected the images on the dollar? No. If you claim your divinity, then you have a lot of things that you could do. Okay. Mentally. When you claim your divinity, you have less limits in your mental abilities. Okay. You say you love being from a country where you still have roots to our nature belief before Christianism was forced on us. Yeah. Yeah. Most people didn't really accept Christianity. They just said that they did and still did what they wanted to do. They just lied about it. Like in this country, well, I don't want to speak for everyone, but most people that claim Christianity are not real Christians. They just were born into it, but they don't really follow the religion at all. So they were just born because they didn't have a choice and their parents just told them that they were this religion. And so when they grew up, they either left the religion or they didn't really follow it or learn about it or care about it or do anything about it. They just learned some basic things that you must say in order to say that you're a Christian, but they don't follow any of the rules. They don't follow any of those things because they don't care. So most people that are claiming to be Christian aren't even Christian. They just were given a title and they don't really abide by it. You say you love how I always got money nearby. I always got some money, girls. I always got some money somewhere. Always. Because when you're divine, you naturally attract money because the money says in God we trust. And if money is energy, like people claim, oh, money is energy. Money is a currency. It's a frequency. If money say in God we trust and I am God or goddess, what is a trust? That means it's like your treasure. It's like it wants to be part of you. It wants to give you more and more of it because it wants you to have it. So if you're a god or a goddess, money's gonna find you, baby. It's gonna be like, here you go. Here you go, here you go, here you go. Because in God we trust, in Goddess we trust. And if you don't feel like, because it doesn't say Goddess, it just says God. Get you a pen, ma'am. Get you a pen. It can even be in green. And write DDES on it. If that's what you need, feel like you gotta do. This is what I'm gonna do right now. If you are super particular and you don't feel like it's supposed to say that, you just get you a pen and go ahead and write what you want on it. Goddess. Okay, let me see this. Now it even leaves room for the DDES. See? Now y'all can't see. It even leaves room for you to fill out the rest. There you go. It could be in green, whatever color you want it to be, ma'am. Be careful how you talk about money. Money is a woman. Yeah, you said Poe James. Why is he poor? Because I think I'm a goddess. Because I claim my goddess status. All right. Actually, I got a marker. There was no pen. All right. Markers are better. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said, do I really love James? Do it really matter? I'm trying to teach y'all about claiming your divinity. And you asking me questions about someone we're not even talking about. Oh, sprinkle, sprinkle. Appreciate that. Now, a lot of people say people love you, and then they say they love you too. You know what I'm saying? People just get all extra with the word love these days. You said I took advantage of James? How many men take advantage of women? Just asking. How many men have taken advantage of women? Right? Let me know. I don't know. See, the best part about claiming your divinity is that none of that stuff matters because you're divine. Okay. So think about this. If you believe in the God in the Bible, and all of these people claim that God spoke to them and said, do this for me and do that for me. Is that God of the Bible taking advantage of those people? Sprinkle, sprinkle. I appreciate the super sticker. So whenever you start to question something, just say, okay, well, if the God of the Bible asks you to do something, would you comply? Would it be taking advantage? Yes or no? Because you're going to go turn around and worship that God. So if you would disagree when a god or a goddess asks you to do something, then you're not really agreeing with the very religion you claim to be part of, or the God that you believe in. So that's what you gotta You know, that's how you got to see. Mm. You said, yeah, but he is God. That's what people say. Well, yeah, I'm goddess then. Yeah, I'm goddess then. So then then it's not taking advantage if I claim my divinity. Now it works. You see how it works? Sprinkle, sprinkle. So they can't really argue with you because they're doing the same thing. They just need someone to show them. They need someone to point it out and say, look, you can't judge me because you worship the very same thing. And then they really can't say anything. Right, right, right. So it's not taking advantage if you claim your divinity and you ask someone to do something for you and they just do it. You said, what do you think about Jesus Christ? The person or the character that says ye are gods or gods are that you're not separate. I don't know. Like, is that what people think? Is you a god or a goddess? All right. If you a god or a goddess, then claim it and then just be it. Be who you are. Mm-hmm. I don't really think about what other people say if I already know that I am divine. You know, if like you don't really have to think about what other people say or what other people did or what other people claimed if you already know within yourself. Like the only reason why people refer to certain characters or beings or religions is so that other people who are familiar with those religions and characters and stories can relate to what you're trying to explain or say to them. Okay. Mhm. You're not supposed to worship Jesus at all. Jesus never asked you to worship him. Just like I never would ask anyone to worship me. People chose to worship Jesus on their own free will. He never told y'all to, he never asked y'all to. But the reason why people choose to worship those who claim their divinity is because they're looking for their own divinity within that person instead of claiming their own divinity within. So they see that someone is divine and they don't know how to become divine themselves. So they just follow someone who's divine until they figure it out, until they figure out how to become divine themselves. And so many people are just following religion, following Jesus or whoever they be following because they're divine. And when they finally realize I'm divine too, they stop following. They stop worshiping. They stop begging and praying another person to do something for them. Instead, they claim their own divinity and they realize that they can create and do what they want. So, and when you do this, everything else is going to start to become easier. Money, opportunity, getting what you want, all of that's going to become easier. because you're not human anymore. You become a god or a goddess, mentally, spiritually, and physically on this plane. Mm-hmm. Um, yeah, I'm on this channel more because the people on the other channel, they need to calm down a little bit. They need to calm down a little bit. Mm-hmm. All right. You said a lot of people don't realize that you can't argue with people that are religious. That's why they say don't argue with people on religion, politics, or whatever, because they're brainwashed. Either you're brainwashed or you're not. As simple as that. Because you know why some people don't vote? Let me tell y'all. You know why some people don't vote? Because vote means to worship. And if you are a god or a goddess, you don't have to vote. Because you're above all of this. Look, see, you're above the whole thing. Sorry, it's like a green screen. You're above all of this. You're above it all. So why would you vote? Why would you go underneath this to vote who you want to be president when it says in God we trust? And you claim your divinity, it don't matter who the president is. Okay. Um it don't matter who the president is because you've claimed your divinity. You don't depend on no president. You don't wait and you don't sit and watch the TV and see what the president gonna do. You create what you want. Okay. So do what you want. You said the God is the building underneath the statement in God we trust. So who lives in the White House or the Lincoln Memorial or whatever other building is on every other currency? Who lives in here? And it says in God we trust. It's in the sky, and there's sky beneath it. Okay. You got to think about that. Sky, the heavens. Even on this one, it's still in the sky. And under it is the house and the ground. So there you go. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Appreciate that. So how are we created? How are you created? How were you created? In a womb? Is that how most of y'all got here? Through a womb? Mm-hmm. You really want to get into this deep? This deep, deep, deep? It's super deep, but I'd have to really do like, my due diligence on it. But yeah, didn't y'all all get here through a woman? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Oh, appreciate you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said through science. No, before science, there was a womb. Yeah, sure. That's how you got here. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Everyone's a god or a goddess, so you're not special. A lot of people just haven't claimed it yet. Like when I tell people, y'all are special, because if everyone is a god and a goddess, then no one has to sit there and be all extra and be like, I'm a god, I'm a goddess, because people are gonna be like, me too, and so what? Me too. And it's not gonna be a big deal anymore. And people are just gonna start creating and do whatever they want, and they're not going to be brainwashed. You know what I'm saying? So it's not something that you brag about. It's something that you would like to help other people recognize within themselves. That's literally it. Like people aren't going to sit up here and brag, I'm a goddess, I'm a god. Okay, me too, Ann. Glad you figured it out. Now what we finna do? Where you want to go eat at? You know? Now what? So once people realize who they are, then then you could start to create the life that you want. Like, you said, why would gods or goddesses even brag? Exactly. You said, why are you ignoring the fact that Adam and Eve didn't come from a womb, just God created them? Okay, so maybe God identified as God or goddess. Then they say we in the image of us. Was Adam and Eve were made in the image of us? Or no, those that Adam and Lilith was made in the image of us. Because the Bible story changes. In the Bible it says, in the beginning God created blah, 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 blah. And then it says, God created man in the image of us. Okay, so us is dual. So two. So as one being, you had two within one. Then, if you know the story of Lilith, one wanted to be superior over the other, and Lilith say, you know what? No, I ain't finna bow down. And then God had to put Adam to sleep and take a rib from him, which is literally attached to his heart, and make a woman so that she would submit to him. Right? So he's incomplete because something was taken from him and separated so that he could feel superior simply over a part of himself. Except when Eve created a child, or she said, look, I made a man. So then guess what happened? Adam was no longer dominant over her. So if you want to believe that story, it's more psychological than it is physical. It's not physical, it's psychological. Because did Adam have a belly button? In the story, in the picture when they drew it in the children's Bible? or in the in the painting, did they both have belly buttons? That means they came out of a womb. They had an umbilical cord. It means they had placenta. It means all of that. Do they have nipples? They both, Adam had nipples. That means he was born in a womb of a woman, born from a womb of a woman. Why? Because when you're developing as a fetus in the womb, you are developing as what is is growing you. So you're going to be female. That's why you're giving nipples, because men don't need to breastfeed. But then when you get assigned your gender, your sex, then that's when you start to develop those. So if he got nipples in a belly button, man, he came from a womb. In the drawings, y'all believe that? But it's literally all metaphor, saying that they split the woman from the man because he wanted to be dominant over her. So he split the need, he split the personality, or the left and the right apart. So that's why women are more intuitive than men, and they have larger pineal glands than men. And they vibrate higher on a higher frequency than men, and they love more than men because they were separated. And this is why men are bigger and stronger, and they're more logical, and they're able to do, heavy lifting and all that kind of stuff, because they were separated from the woman. And so since the woman has his heart, since the woman vibrates on a higher frequency, she actually can spiritually and mentally dominate over a man, while he can only physically dominate over her in the material plane. Because if they were in the material plane and a man wanted to be dominant over someone, they would have to be physically dominant. So they got the physical dominance, but the woman, or Eve, got the mental and the spiritual and the vibrational dominance. So who really dominant? Okay. You got to think about stuff before you ask. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. Yeah. So and if the woman is connected to the spiritual realm, that's why she gives birth. That's why she brings life to the planet. And that's why he's strong, tall, big, can work longer, has longer stamina, is more logical, can do work. Because he wanted to be dominant in the material plane, which means he has to be strong, being able to create materials, being able to build materials, being able to lift materials, being able to think on how to best, form structures and things like that to build upon the plane. Basically, he's just technology. Basically, I don't mean to be rude, but you could still be a god if you are aware of this type of metaphor and story of why men wanted to dominate over women. You can claim your god status as a man if you realize what happened. Mm-hmm. You said where the first wound came from? Another wound? If man and woman were one before they were separated, what does that mean? There are creatures that are asexual, or there are creatures that can fertilize their own eggs. There are creatures that are able to switch their sex in order to procreate if there's no male or females around. You know what I'm saying? Like frogs. So there are lots of different types of beings that are able to reproduce or whatever, or already have a womb and a frequency. But now, since we are in the material plane, there's woman and there's man. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So if you want to see a mirror or reflection of what could or what used to be or what was on a different realm, look at trans people who can get pregnant. Look at a trans woman, or look at a trans man who can get pregnant. Or look at a trans woman who can impregnate a trans man. Okay, but still, you're not getting the muscle, you're not getting the type of thinking, you're not getting the brain, you're not getting any of that. You're just seeing the physical representation of what could have been or what was on a different realm before we were separated. Okay, so that's all you're seeing. You're seeing the physical reflection or representation of what used to be. You said androgynous. You're able to procreate on your own. Okay. But since now man or the masculine wanted to rule over the feminine, that's why we were separated. Okay. Because when you were being brought into the material realm, if you wanted to rule, you had to be materially able to handle it, which means you're going to be bigger and stronger physically. But the woman got all the spiritual gifts and all the vibrational gifts. Okay. Mm-hmm. And the ability to bring life to the planet. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You can't. So if you are a god or a goddess yourself, then you don't need, if you are a god or a goddess yourself, you can materialize what you want. Mentally, vibrationally, spiritually. Since we are in these physical bodies in the material world, it doesn't stop you from using, especially if you're accepting your own divinity, it doesn't stop you from using your gifts from the spiritual realm. Okay? You just have to claim it. Got to claim it though. So you know how those scientists are like, okay, well, the human mind is so powerful, we only use 10% of it, and da 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 da. So they get these test subjects and they like, okay, well, let's see how much of their brain they're going to use if we do this and do that, and how much more this person uses their brain than this person, and da 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 da. It's the same thing. Okay. You can tap into some parts of your brain and use more of your intelligence to create something. Then you're literally claiming your divinity. You literally claiming your divinity. Y'all know the movie or the show Stranger Things? I know y'all probably all seen Stranger Things, right? So they had that testing place where they were testing children and doing all these kind of experiments and trying to make their powers come out. Like God, our goddess powers, right? Like we all have divinity within. If you claim it, learn, and start creating with it and using your own frequency to create whatever you want, then that's what's going to happen. But if you just accept that you're a normal, regular old person and you never, you know, accept your divinity or work on your divinity to allow yourself to learn how to be divine, then you're never going to know that you're divine or be able to see the results. So make sure you know you divine. Okay? Because if you don't, then you don't. If you don't know, then you don't know. There's nothing you can do about it until you figure it out. Until you know. And when you know, you know. You said total myth, or total truth. Whichever one it is to you. That's what it's going to be. Right? Then there's no need to argue. Just either you are or you're not. You are or you're not. Either way, it's true for you. So a lot of people ask, you know, how can you create your life if you claim your divinity? Like what changes? It's your attitude and your frequency that changes. It's your tone of voice that changes. It's how you speak to people that changes. It's how they respond to you that changes. Okay? And the reason why it changes is because your frequency has changed and you have accepted your divinity. And so people treat you different because you treat yourself different. Okay? It's that simple. The power of choice. Exactly. You said man built the world in 6 days? No, a man didn't build a world in 6 days. A God who claimed their divinity created their world, not the world, but their world in 6 days. Okay. So your world is your reality. That person's world over there is their reality. Get it? So your world is your world. That world is that world. That world is that world. Your reality is what you create in 6 days. And if God created the sun, then that means time did not exist for a lot of the time he was creating. So therefore, you can't measure it in 12 hours. So what does the day really represent? So if there is no time because there was no sun, and what solar system did he create it in? Was it this solar system? What galaxy was it? Was it this galaxy? Was it a whole nother galaxy? You know, which one was it? Was it 6,000 years ago? Then why are there dinosaur bones that are millions of years old in the museum. And are those dinosaur bones real? I mean, you're going to start asking questions, ask all the questions. Okay? Just ask every question there is until you stop, until you get tired and just claim your own divinity. Let me see, how old is the earth? 6,000 years old. How old are these dinosaur bones? Millions of years old. Well, wait a minute, hold on. Which one is real? You ever dug up a dinosaur bone? Where's the only place people see dinosaur bones at? Them people digging for oil, do they be finding dinosaur bones? Them people digging in the dirt, drilling oil, they be finding dinosaur bones? I don't know. I haven't seen any discoveries of dinosaur bones in a long, long time. And if dinosaurs were real, how did T-Rex do anything? If he fell over, he can't even get back up. His arm's too little. If somebody was coming at his eyes, he can't protect himself. He can't do wax on, wax off. He can't. He be like this. Okay. Why they give T-Rex them little bitty them little bitty arms like this? Like something was wrong with them. That's funny, right? Like if you gonna design a dinosaur, design a good one. Okay, that doesn't even make no kind of sense. He said he got a tail. He got a tail, but little bitty arms. What if his eyeball itch? What he gonna do? Go like this? Like what he gonna do? What if he itches on his booty? He can't even scratch his booty. What he gonna do? Go get up against the mountain and rub it? What if he got something stuck in his teeth? What he gonna do? See, it doesn't even make sense. No, even the guy called lizard arms is longer than that. Okay. You said the muscles, okay, but still, like, you still need your hands. Why even have hands if you can't use them? That makes no sense. Okay. A lot of people don't feel dinosaurs were real. A lot of people don't believe the Bible stories either. A lot of people don't believe a lot of stuff because most of it is just metaphor. Okay. There you go. You see, they ain't got no self-defense. Exactly. So, you said dragons are more believable. Their anatomy makes more sense. Uh-huh. So, you said oversized Barney. Do you think you chosen? Yeah, because I chose myself. Yeah, I'm chosen because I chose myself. Yes. Like I said, you don't need no permission. Choose yourself. Claim your divinity. What the heck? Right, right. Say, I choose myself. Yes. So when people ask questions like that, do you think you're chosen? Do you think you're special? Yes, anybody can be. Anyone can be. If you choose yourself and claim your divinity, yes, everyone can be. Everyone can be chosen. Everyone can be divine if that's what they choose. Because even if you think about this, if you are religious and you read the Bible and you believe in the Bible and you believe in God, didn't God say you got free will? You got free will. So what does that mean? That means you can choose to be divine and you can choose to be chosen by yourself. I choose myself and I'm divine. And a lot of people say, well, God say there should be no other God before him. Da, 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 da. Or no other God before me. I am a jealous God. Okay, well, there should be no other God before him. So that means there are multiple gods and goddesses. Because if he was the only one, he wouldn't have to be jealous. He wouldn't have to claim that claim, ma'am, sir. Mm-hmm. See, so your divinity is within, and you claim your own divinity, and that's just that. You said he very jealous of me. Okay, so if you married to a god, let's put it down. Let's get to it. If you're married to a god, and he said, "You better not have no other man or god," because goddesses don't deal with men; they deal with gods. You better not have no other god before. That means you better not cheat on me. You better not be out there cheating. Now, if you worship God as a man, he said you better not have no other God before me, then y'all might just be a little bit gay. So, so if you're a goddess and you got a God, he said you better not put no other man or God before me. He's still trying to claim superiority. You know what I'm saying? He said, no, you better not put no other God or goddess before me. Well, I'm just gonna put myself before you. How about that? You said no other God, but I'm a goddess. So I guess I'm gonna put myself before you and do what I want. Because didn't a god come from a goddess? Mm-hmm. She said God, not goddess. Y'all need to get it together. So therefore, just don't put no other man before your God or your husband or your boyfriend who claiming he a god or whoever is claiming he a god. He doesn't want you to put another man God before him because he's jealous, because he loves you, because you're his goddess, and he don't want you want to be the only one. You want to be the only one. Say I want to be the only one. So he wasn't making no threats. He was just asking. He want to be the only one. because he already know he gotta say it because women be like, you know what? Just on my other channel, y'all already know. If he ain't doing what he's supposed to do, go get another one. Period. You ain't doing right, go get it. You ain't doing what you're supposed to do as a god, then she gonna replace you, or she gonna put somebody else on your duties. All right. She put somebody else on his duties, girl. Um. So yeah, you gotta when you read the Bible or if you believe in that stuff, you if you read it as if you are divine, it makes a lot more sense. You reading it as a lesser being, it's all metaphor. Hmm. You say you make God sound like a whole Tyrone. Yeah, he worried. He was worried. You better not put no other God before me because I'm jealous. Well, as you should be. But if you ain't doing your job, sir, as a God, then what am I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? You pull your weight or you gonna get replaced. Because remember, they left the goddess out of the Bible. So half the time God was talking, he wasn't talking to people, he was talking to the goddess. You see? And everybody liked the goddess better than they liked the God. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, God is this, God is that. God was sitting up back there mad, like, I don't exist. Like, I'll sit over here worshiping this goddess. I know she got boobs and she look good and she pretty and she could twerk or dance or whatever. But what about me? I'm a God. No, don't forget you, God. You ugly. You don't do nothing. See the goddess over here. So God got mad. He got jealous of his counterpart. And he said, I can't do this no more. I can't do this no more. I got to separate. Y'all better leave the goddess alone. Stop worshiping that goddess over there. It's about me. It's all about me. I'm the best. I'm this. Da, da, da. So she was like, you just mad. Oh my goodness. Calm down. It ain't that serious. And so literally, she was telling him, or God was telling Goddess, but not put no other man before me. Okay. That's why God got all these different names, because she had all them different men. All these religions, God got a different name, right? Just like goddesses do. They're just people claiming their divinity. Okay. There you go. So all these stories that y'all are reading about God is literally just about a man who got left by his wife because he was lacking. All right, there you go. I'm glad I could sum it up for you. Okay. You said people believe what they want, thou shalt not judge. Yes. The reason why religion is male dominated is because if the religion was woman dominated, everyone would favor the woman. Everyone would favor the woman, and the man would be forgotten and just seen as the help or the work or the worker because he's the muscle, right? So that's why they wrote goddesses out of religion. That's why they said, no, there's only one God and he's male and you better bow down. Because when there were two, when there were both, people preferred the woman. Sparkle, sparkle. Okay. That's it. I said this in one of my other videos, like, especially if she looking good, okay? Especially if she look good. They're gonna choose that every day, all day, okay? Okay. All right, so yes. So claim your divinity as a god or a goddess. It doesn't really matter. Like we live in the day now where people appreciate each other no matter what. Okay. We live in a day and age now where it doesn't have to be a competition. So you just be the best divine god or goddess you could, be, and that's it. Men say that they're afraid of you or hearing you say good. All right, well, oh well. They said churches should be headed by me. What? Do you even think a woman would have a church if it was up to her? Like, do you see women building giant buildings with phallic symbols on top of them? Saying, oh, I like this structure. Like, if you had to build something to represent yourself, would it be a church with a steeple on it? Or what would your church look like? Or what would your temple look like? How would you design it? It wouldn't look like a church. That's man stuff. We look totally different. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, women would have totally different types of meetings. They wouldn't be based on discipline and order and rules. Okay, think about this. If a woman ran religion, a lot of women have their own religion. A lot of women just do whatever they want. But if religion that we have in the world now, patriarchal religion, was taken over by women, all that stuff would be totally replaced. Like y'all would not meet up to hear order, to have fear put into you, to be given metaphors, to be told what to do, to be telling you what God likes and doesn't like, to be given a bunch of rules. You women wouldn't do that. Okay. Women would be like, okay, y'all, we here. How y'all doing? Y'all feeling all right? Brothers, y'all all right? So the first thing we need to talk about today is how good do I look? Y'all like it? Y'all like the outfit? Yes. Y'all put some jewelry. Y'all put some money in the building fund. I mean, the temple fund, so y'all can, so I can look good for y'all next week. All right. Now that that's out the way, have y'all been taking care of yourselves? Have you been claiming your divinity? You're doing right by your woman? Yes. Okay. You build her that nice house she wanted? Good. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right, y'all. We got some fabulous food, some fabulous drink. And I know y'all want to show off y'all clothes and stuff like that and go mingle with the guys over there that's kind of looking good. So y'all, I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and go and mingle. All right, temple ladies, come on up. Y'all need them tithes and offerings. Y'all better start dancing. You know how they have praise dancers in the men church? In the women church, it's gonna be a little different because women like to get paid. So they're gonna be some dancers. all the men who work hard for their little check, they're gonna come up to the pulpit to the offering, and they're like, "Here you go, ma'am. I ain't got no wife, so I'm just gonna give it to you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Here you go. Thank you. May the goddess bless you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. What you doing after temple? What you doing after church? Whatever you call this place. I was gonna go shopping, but I don't know if I'm gonna make enough money. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm gonna take you shopping. Yeah, what you want? Hmm. Back in the day, people used to go to these goddess temples for whole different reasons than people go to church to hear order, discipline, what you might do, you better not do this, or else scare you. It was different back in the day. And they're like, well, okay, that a man will come up there and be like, the lady be like, what's wrong? What's wrong, baby? He's like, I want to be, I want to be like you. What you mean you want to be like me? All right, let me tell you what you gotta do. Okay, you get this wig. Get this wig, get up here and start dancing. In some cultures today, they have men that look like women that dance like women, and these men will give them money. Okay, these men be twerking and everything like a woman. It's an all man space, but they be in there twerking like a woman and getting paid like a stripper. All right, to this day, in some cultures, that's how they used to do back in the old days. Like women didn't care. Women didn't care. Men care in their churches because once again, the men were favoring women, even if they were emulating them. They were favoring the goddess over the god. So when Christianity and these Abrahamic religions came into play, the patriarchal religions came into play, they were like, nope, a man gotta be a man because God, male, patriarchy, dominance, period. None of that women stuff. Women were like, we don't care. We know you like the goddess. We like the goddess too. So you want to be a goddess? You like being a goddess? You don't like the gods over there? I don't blame you. They be acting silly sometimes. So a lot of the stigma around homosexuality came from patriarchal religion. When religions included goddesses, they did not discriminate. They didn't care. They did not say you were a bad person. Because most women who have children love them no matter what, whether how their children are, wanting to be more feminine or masculine or whatever, because they love them because they created them and they made them. Okay. So therefore, when you have a patriarchal religion and those children may not be accepted by that religion, it was due to patriarchy. That's it. So therefore, if it's patriarchy that discriminates against people for being who they want to be, this is why a lot of people either, like in the churches and stuff, had to either accept or lose part of their building fund. Right? Either you accepting the LGBTQ plus or you losing that LGBTQ plus building fund money. So what you gonna do? Because guess what? What you gonna do? In God we trust. You want this money? You want to keep attracting money? You want to claim your divinity? Well, so do everyone else. So what you gonna do? You won't. So now you got churches with the pride flag on the outside talking about all are welcome. Okay? Because the goddess is always going to remind you where you came from. Always. Okay. Okay. Because, that's what it says. In the money it says, in God we trust. That means if the church ain't getting paid, the church got to figure out how to get paid. If you can't get paid, then why would you even stay in business? Because church is business. All right. I don't even think we need to bring back matriarchy. We need to bring back divinity within all people so that they have the option to choose. If you're divine within yourself, then you're not worried about patriarchy or matriarchy. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to create what you want anyway. Mm-hmm. You say what? Think about this. Most of the time, why people go to church? Why do people even go to church? The same reason they went back in the old days before church was invented, to temples. To meet people. To hook up. Especially if they're single. To fellowship. Fellow, like a band. Ship. To manship. Even fellowship means to manship. You shipping with another man. You're trying to find a relationship with a fella. Networking. You trying to fish. You got a net. What you trying to catch? See? It's to get something. Okay. You go to dance, laugh, and sing. Well, you know what? Those are metaphors too. Dancing is a metaphor. Laughing is a metaphor. What do people normally do after church, or they meet somebody at the church? Oh, sister, let me lay hands on you and pray for you. Yes. Yes. I'm gonna put God's blessing all upon you. That's nasty because you know what they're really trying to tell you. All right. So basically they just in out to see who they can get. Exchange energy, see who they can get. Da, 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 da. The building fund. That's why they call it the building fund, because men are builders. They build a church. Even though they just take that money and spend it on a woman, they claim it's the building fund. But the woman just takes that money and does whatever she wants with it. They ain't building nothing. It's a scam. They just take the money and give it to whoever will deal with them as a woman. Or they go buy something with it for themselves. Mm-hmm. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Get what? All right. You said Jesus is the only Savior. Jesus? Jesus is the only Savior, sir? You depend on a man to save you, sir? Who do men call out help for right before something bad happened to them? Mama. People call mama, not Jesus, ma'am, sir. Sorry. People don't call on Jesus, they call on mama. Especially if their mama's still alive. And mama, call my mama. Tell my mama where I'm at. Call my mama. My mama gonna be worried. Mama, mama, mama. They ain't talking about no Jesus. Who they call when they go to jail? Mama. Who they call when something happen? Mama. Who they call when they need some gas money? If they broke dusty? Mama. Why they calling mama? Why don't they call on Jesus? If Jesus is supposed to save y'all, then go call him. And don't stop calling your mamas. Period. Don't call Jesus. Jesus ain't gonna answer the phone. Mama might answer the phone. She might. That's why Erica Badu said, but you can't use my phone. You better call Tyrone, but you can't use my phone. She said the mothership can't save you because Jesus is the only savior. So you better save yourself, sir. Stop calling your mama. Stop calling don't call your woman to help you. When you go to jail, call Jesus' phone number. See what if he can help you out. Okay. Ask the jailer, so you got the number to Jesus? He's gonna be like, you better call your mama and stop playing. Y'all know the name Tyrone means Lord. You better call Tyrone. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right. Don't call your mama. Call Tyrone or call Jesus. Next time something bad happens to you. See what happens if you the only savior. I got it. Why don't you pray to Jesus? Please let my mama answer the phone and then go call your mama. I'll make it make sense for you. Okay. I'll make it make sense for you since that's what you got to think in order to think. Pray to Jesus that your mama answer the phone and then call your mama. There you go. It's a win-win. There you go. Say, Jesus, please let my mama answer the phone. Okay. He said Jesus died and rose for you, therefore live for him. He died and rose for me. So I gotta live for him. But I didn't ask him to do all of that. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Who carried Jesus and make sure he got to the planet? Who was between the realm of life and death trying to give birth to Jesus? Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Who is the reason that Jesus is even here? Okay. You said Jesus didn't want to do it. He said, oh man, whatever. They didn't got me. So yeah, you call Jesus to see if he come get you out of jail. Sprinkle, sprinkle. See if he give you some gas money. See if he pay. See if he can come pick you up from wherever you stranded. All right. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So I know that men are used to patriarchal religion and they think Jesus is this, and that. But you know what? Without Mary, there ain't no Jesus. So y'all will be worshiping nothing. Y'all shouldn't even be worshiping anyway. Especially not no man. We shouldn't worship anything. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. He's sus, girl. He is sus, ain't he? He's suspicious. We don't need chat moderators, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Y'all should know by now we don't have chat moderators on this channel. Never have, never will. Okay. I don't assign jobs to people. Okay. And sprinkle, sprinkle. Mm-hmm. So y'all worship nothing, claim your own divinity, and create whatever you want. Be smart. So y'all remember when they said, oh, if you eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, you will be like, or you would know what God knows. So who accepted their divinity first and foremost in the biblical stories? Eve. accepted her divinity first before Adam did, because he gave his up so he could dominate over a woman. So Eve accepted her divinity first before Adam did. That's why they mad, because she was smart enough to, because she had the higher vibrating pineal gland, because she was more intuitive and connected. That's why she was able to claim her divinity first before Adam was. And men are upset with that, and they're mad about it, and they want to flip everything and make it the woman's fault, that, oh, it's Eve's fault for claiming her divinity first. You said Adam submitted to Eve. Oh, Adam submitted to Eve because she told him, look, you got to eat this and get your divinity. And if someone wanted to control you and tell you what to do and have you dumb and stupid, they wouldn't want you to figure out your divinity, right? This is why in a lot of cultures, they don't allow women to read. That's why during parts of slavery, they didn't allow slaves to learn how to read, because if they did, they would figure out that they were divine. Okay. This is why you are distracted by, scrolling and stuff, so you don't actually find out you're divine. It's distractions. You know who you are, then you claim it, and you just do what you got to do. But women claim their divinity first, and it is what it is. So claim yours. Don't be sitting there waiting around looking crazy. Then you're gonna be mad at everybody who already didn't claim their divinity. Claim yours. Okay, because if you claim it, then you don't need to worship anything. You don't need to follow nobody's orders. You don't need to follow nobody's instructions. You can literally just create your own life and do what you want to do. And that's it. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You said wanting more knowledge is not wrong, but they want to program you to think it is, so you'll be stupid. Exactly. Now, there was different trees in the garden. There was the tree of knowledge, and then there was the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So they said, don't eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, not from the tree of knowledge. Because what type of knowledge is on that tree? The knowledge that they put on there. The knowledge that they want you to know. The tree of life, yeah. Sorry, yeah, the tree of life, the tree of knowledge, or the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So when they ate of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, that means they knew both sides. How to manipulate, and if you're being manipulated. How to rule, and how to be submissive. How to create and how to destroy. How to do this and how to do that. So if they only knew one side of things, they could never destroy. They could never dominate. They could never manipulate. They could never do what they wanted. They didn't have a choice. They only had this choice that was given to them. They did not have both sides of the story. So when they got both sides of the story, they said, hey, wait a minute. I done fell for the okie doke. I am a god. I am a goddess. Look, Adam, did you know you was God? Come here. Because I'm a goddess. I'm telling you that right now. I know. So basically, she woke him up and they left. Yeah, I ain't gonna be living in this spot no more. Y'all crazy. I got to go. All right. So know thyself. Know thyself. Yeah. You said then why could God punish her? How did he punish her though? What is punish? What does punish mean? Because sometimes punish means lots of different things. Pun-ish. He punished her by giving her pain in birth. Okay. We got epidurals. Everybody came from being born. Everybody know birth is painful. Is that a punishment? Okay, so a woman goes through the punishment to have a child and create like a god. Okay. So what was God's punishment? What was God's punishment? Okay. You got to work and pay for the child, baby. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You got to bring home the money. You got to go out there and get the money. You got to go out there and work and bring Eve that money to raise that baby. So there go his punishment. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right. Um. Why do women have miscarriages if they're in control like God? Is God in control? Women have miscarriages all the time because either their body didn't accept, they ate the wrong thing, they're not fertile, blah blah blah, blah, okay, or they took the plan B, sprinkle sprinkle. Okay, so or they meant to miscarry. Some of them do, some of them don't. Sometimes it takes more than one try. Sometimes it don't. It depends on how fertile you are. All right. Depends on how good your stuff stick to your uterus. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But still, the womb is still a place that life comes from, whether it decides to come today or another day. Mm-hmm. Some women won't miscarry and have a whole baby that's not alive. So you have several ways that could go. My daughter was telling me some strange story. I don't even know if she was making this up or not, but it was really weird. I don't know if it was true because she said she heard it on TikTok because they be telling stuff on TikTok that might not be 100% true. So I don't even want to repeat it because it was weird. But basically, let me just tell y'all what it was. She said that a person that was no longer in the realm of the living was the father to someone because the mom extracted the sperm out of the corpse. I don't know. Strange, right? He said, "Ghost Daddy." So give me that good sperm you got there. It's now and the other. He said, "Give me that sperm you got there. It's now and the other." So anyway, I said, I don't know if I believe that, but you heard it on TikTok, so I don't know. Hmm. You say, ain't that a word for that necromancy? Girl, in the physical, the weird necromancy, physical necromancy, girl. Necro everything. Shoot. It's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that, man. There's still hope for you somewhere. Hmm. Says the womb dark energy. Is it dark in the womb? Is it dark up in there? Okay. Is it dark in the womb? If y'all think dark is evil, then everything associated with darkness is evil. Okay, you can't be like, okay, well, darkness not evil over here, but it's evil over here. It's evil over here. If darkness is evil, then it's evil all the way around. Period. All right. Believe what you want. Hmm. You said so. Is space evil? Is the womb evil? Is your room evil before you turn on a light? Is night evil? Um, you know what's y'all are just saying stuff sometimes. Like y'all are talking about darkness. It's like, is dark skin evil? Is dark hair evil? Are dark eyes evil? Like what? What's evil? Okay. You sleep in darkness peacefully? Yeah. It's evil when you go to bed at night. In the God in the Bible, what was there before there was anything? What did he create in? When they said let there be light, what was there before that? What came before light? Mm-hmm. See? So it can't really be evil. If it's evil, then everything evil. It's everything comes out of darkness. Even you, even me, even we. We all are from the darkness. So y'all need to get my book. Ooh, y'all see that? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Green screen messing it up. Yeah. It's linked in the description. Smart. All right. Darkness. Nothing is good or bad. It's all choice. Yes. If darkness is bad, then why do priests and nuns wear black in the church? It's dark. Okay. Sparkle. Yeah, why they wear that? Dark is the feminine energy. So why is a priest and a nun wear, the nun gotta wear that stuff over their head? And then the priest wear it up to here. Because he think he over. He think he over the feminine energy. And the nun gotta put it over her head. Because she is the feminine energy. But if you just know who you are and you claim your divinity, you ain't got to do nothing. You wear whatever you want. Say, I am a goddess. Period. Y'all don't need to look at my clothes to know who I am. Okay, y'all don't need to look at nothing. I'm telling you, sprinkle, sprinkle. And that's how y'all have to be. Like that's how y'all have to act. There we go. You a god or a goddess? You pick. You gonna figure out your divinity like Eve did, or you gonna wait until somebody else come and wake you up like they had to do Adam? Okay. So Eve has to wake up Adam. The woman has to wake up the man because the man don't know who he is, but he want to rule over something, but don't even know who he is because the women have to wake him up first. Mm-hmm. How can you look more like a goddess? Well, a goddess looks however she wants to look, depending on what kind of goddess she is. What kind of goddess do you want to be? You want to be a goddess of what? You got to look like what you represent. Okay, there are different types of goddesses. Which one are you trying to rep? That's what you're gonna look like. Okay. So if you repping the goddess of destruction, you're gonna look like very destructive. You're gonna look like you don't play. If you repping the goddess of love and beauty, that's what you're gonna look like. So whatever you repping, that's what you're looking like, ma'am. Um, Men have been here hundreds of years before women. We have the men have been here hundreds of years before women. We have the power to control. Then why is your picture a woman? Control men, man. That why she eat the fruit because she didn't realize what she was getting into. That's not true. The knowledge of good and evil, not the fruit. And y'all be gotten stuff backwards. So men or mankind or humans, which like was here hundreds of years before women. So basically, you're just saying the Lilith and Adam story all over again, just using different words. Mm. Okay. You said men can clone themselves? Do you guess? Girl, no. If men were going to clone anything, it would be a woman. Because who wants to clone a man? Well, the first thing they would try to clone would be a woman, not no man. That's why the first thing they created from Adam was a woman. Because Adam didn't want no other man. Maybe Adam might have been straight. Adam didn't say create me another man. Adam had choices. Adam, like, you know what? I need somebody else because Lilith, she don't want to be with me because she said she ain't fit to bow down to no Dusty. So let me make me a woman. Not make me another man, but make me a woman. So if you had one wish and you said, you know what, I need another partner. I need someone in my life. I need somebody. Please, God of the Bible, make me a what? What did he say? What do you want? Who he wanted created? Exactly. Because life on earth, life in the world ain't nothing without a woman. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Unless y'all like animals. Mm-hmm. Oh, you said they got robot women? Yep. They made robot women, clone women, because they can't get enough of women. Literally. That's why they had to change the whole religion, because men couldn't get enough of women when there were goddesses either. Like, oh, let's go worship the goddess. Oh, let's go to the goddess temple. Forget that and God church thing. Let's go to the temple. Hey, women over there. They weren't trying to go to the man temple and hear all that rigmarole. They wanted the women. But since God is a jealous God and he wouldn't get no play, it's like, oh man, I want to create something. I want to make something. I want people to look at me. I want to be a man. I want to be like God. I can't be in my God status while this woman or these women over here are over here vibrating on a higher frequency, attracting everything. How can I bring them down to a lower frequency and a level? Oh my goodness. So this is what patriarchy was. I'm trying to bring the woman down so they can shine. But it doesn't matter now because, everybody know the truth. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah. So yeah, the Kundalini opened the third eye in the woman so she could realize her divinity, because the woman's pineal gland is larger, therefore it vibrates on a higher frequency. Therefore, she figured out her divinity before a man would. And so she taught him, and men were happy because a woman told him he was divine, and then he started figuring out he was divine, and everybody, oh, the woman, she knows. Go learn from her. Then the man would get mad because the woman had it first. So it's okay. Like, we ain't mad at you. We understand why you did it, but it doesn't change anything. The woman still got the same larger pineal gland. The woman still vibrates on a higher frequency. The woman still realizes her divinity first. That's why when you go back in time, the further you go back in time, you ain't gonna see no God statues. All you gonna see is goddess statues. The oldest statues are goddesses. The oldest statues are goddesses because they knew who they were first. But claim your divinity, women. Y'all should be the ones that claim it first. Before they start claiming, then you teach them how to claim. You like, okay, guess what? I'm a goddess. They going by king. King. They're going by kings. Well, guess what? What's higher than a king? A goddess. Here you go. We said the oldest symbol for God is the sun rising from the east up between two mountains. That's two legs. That's the woman's legs being birthing a son. So the God comes from the goddess. The mountains are the two legs of a woman in the birthing position. The sun that's coming out is the soul and the frequency of life that comes from the womb through the woman. So still the woman gives birth to the God. The goddess gives birth to the God. That's even why Eve had to make Adam eat that damn fruit so he could figure out his divinity. She still gave birth to him. She still gave birth to his consciousness. Period. Even though they try to claim Eve came from Adam. But she still claimed her divinity before him. Therefore, what? Then she sunned him by waking him up to his divinity. So therefore, she still with goddess because you can't, there's nothing you can do. It just keeps doing the same thing over and over. Goddesses gonna be goddesses. She could have been selfish and said, you know what, Adam, you don't need this. You don't need this, Adam. This ain't for you. You don't need this fruit. You don't need this wisdom. You don't need this knowledge. Adam, you don't need this. She could have took all of it for herself. But she tried to tell him who he was too. Because she didn't want no idiot. She didn't want nobody sitting there acting like less than when she was all that. She didn't want no idiot. So I can't be with you if you don't know your divinity, sir. You over there acting stupid. Hurt here. Wake up. You said women are hurt. We came second. Sorry, it's what it is. Women are. Why are you why are you on a woman? Why you got a woman's picture in black and white? Oh, I get it. Law. Okay, I get it. So women are first. Women will always be first. Women don't have to compete because they are creators. They are divine by nature. By nature, women are divine. You ain't got to do nothing. You're just born that way. You're just born this way. Okay? Nobody got to wake us up. We already know. Period. So therefore, if you have a belly button, you came from a woman. You look down there, what you got? You got a belly button? You got some nipples? You came from a woman. There you go. Welcome to the world. Wake up, sir. Wake up to your divinity. Women are already divine by nature, and just it is what it is. If you don't accept it, you don't accept it. If you do, you do. Nobody cares. It's 2023. Know thyself. Okay. Even in science, like if men don't wake up to their own divinity, you know, what happens in the physical and the spiritual world, you know, is kind of, you know, affects things kind of. So if men don't wake up to their own divinity soon, that's why there's more women on the planet now, because men aren't waking up to their divinity. You know what I'm saying? So wake up to your, like, men aren't waking up to their divinity. They just Mhm. Mhm. You said we are born from a woman, but it takes two to tango. That's true, but you don't need. Okay, let me tell you something. It takes two to tango, right? But mentally, and spiritually, what is that man going to do in that relationship when the child gets to the earth? Is that man mentally divine? Can he do what it takes to create something divine on earth for his children? Okay. Because if children are being born and they're not seeing men as divine and they're only seeing women as divine, what do you think is getting ready to happen? So it doesn't matter if people can get sperm from a corpse, as they say on TikTok. Okay. You ain't got to be alive no more. Okay. You can get it from a sperm bank, whatever. Your presence is not necessary. So therefore, if someone can get some sperm, and I'm not saying that the man is not a part of creating, you know, within the womb. What I'm saying is, after you create, what are you going to do? After you help create, what are you going to do? Are you going to be a god? Or what you going to be? You going to be father? Do you know what I'm saying? You can't. Are you going to be sperm? Are you going to be immaculate conception? All right. You going to be father or are you going to be immaculate conception? All right. A lot of another reason why people are turning away from patriarchy is because there's no God or father that's handling their business, when they create people. What do you think will be consequence of men never wake up extinction, girl? Y'all could see it. It's already being created. The men who don't wake up to their divinity are doing certain things that are not divine. Okay, you could just open your eyes and you will see. The men who don't know their divinity are in places where divine beings would never be. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, you ain't got to just look. Just look around. Okay, just look around. Where are the men that aren't in their divinity? Where they at? Where they at? Mhm. You go. No one has to agree with it. Either you divine or you not. There's nothing to agree with. Either you divine or you not. There's no argument. Either you divine or you not. Like literally. That's what they say. You don't argue. Either you are or you not. Period. You choose. It's up to you to choose what you want to be. Uh-huh. You said we are male and female, not men and women. Those are made up constructs. Oh no, I'm divine. I'm goddess. Okay, y'all can be whatever y'all want to be. Because if somebody says those are made up concepts, well, so is male and female. Then so is whatever, whatever. It comes to a point where what are you going to claim? What are you going to claim? You're going to claim goddess. You're going to claim God. You're going to claim male. You're going to claim female. You're going to claim woman, man, whatever. Both, none. Which one you want? Which one you? Who are you? You're divine. Mm-hmm. You said the roles you describe are constructs. The roles that I describe are the roles that get you in the physical realm. You want to be here or not? Okay. While you in the physical realm, you want your respect or you don't. Sprinkle, sprinkle. While you're in the physical realm, do you want to create like a god or a goddess or a divine being, whatever you want to call yourself? Which one you want to do? They're not constructs. They're simply vibrations and frequencies. Okay. Do we have to have the balance of the masculine and the feminine, or we just balance light and dark feminine energy? Well, it depends. Who became divine first? Just, you know what I'm saying? Who woke? Okay, well, if you're gonna remember the story of Adam and Eve, who became divine first? If she needed balance, Did she really need balance, or did she want balance? Did she want to wake up Adam? Or did she not? Did she care? Did she need to? We'll never know. All right. So, when you wake up as a divine being, are you already balanced? I don't know. That's up to you, right? So here's my thing. God said, don't eat from the tree of good and not evil. Adam didn't do it. He obeyed. Okay, God, whatever you say, I'm gonna do that. Because he follows rules. Here come Eve over here. And the serpent comes like, oh, eat this and you'll be like, to think like God and you'll know what God knows. And she said, oh, okay, give me that. She don't follow rules. She do what she want. Get it? So Eve doesn't follow rules. She does what she wants. Adam obeys. Lilith don't follow rules. She do what she want. And that's it. Now do y'all see? Even though Adam wanted Lilith to submit to her, even though Adam let himself be split in order to be dominant over a woman, he still could never be dominant because he follows orders, he follows rules, he obeys. So he may not be submissive to a woman, but he's submissive to a man. And once Eve got the knowledge from the tree of good and evil, he submitted to Eve because Eve don't follow rules. She do what she want. So therefore, as much as men try to rule women, rule over women, try to be like women, try to emulate women, it's always going to be her or she or goddess or divine feminine or whatever y'all want to call her. It's always going to be that because we do what we want. We don't do no rules. Okay. Okay. That's why I'm telling you, I do what I want. There ain't no rules. Even Michael Jackson said it. Ain't no rules, it's up to you. Oh, I'm do what I want. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right. Okay. I gotta go. Claim your divinity, gods, goddesses, whatever y'all divine, whatever y'all want to call yourselves, just claim it. And stop messing around. You said Hermes, Hermes, Hermes. Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. You said everything, Eve had everything, even everlasting life, and she wasn't happy with it. She wanted knowledge and she got an everlasting death too. Yeah. Okay, so but she can also create life. So through her children, she lives on, and men live on. So she created everlasting life. All right. And everlasting life is knowing you're divine as well. She was the first to know that she was divine before Adam did. So everlasting life, everlasting knowledge, everlasting divinity of being a goddess, you have to come through the woman to even get life. So therefore, she is everlasting life. She didn't need it. She was it. Sprinkle. She knew who she was when she figured out that she was divine. Wait a minute, I am everlasting life. I don't need to do what these people telling me to do. I ain't gonna die because I am what creates life. Period. So she woke up and said, y'all are lying, and I'm gonna do what I want. Okay? Y'all are lying, I'm gonna do what I want. I am everlasting life. If y'all don't like it, kick rocks over there. Y'all go obey that man over there. Y'all go follow orders over there. Meanwhile, we're gonna be over here doing whatever we want. Go worship that man over there. Go do whatever he say. Go clock into your boss. But we gonna be over here living the life. Yeah, you gotta come to the woman, ma'am. Even the women gotta come to the women, or the women are the women. So it doesn't even matter. You can't. You gotta come through a womb. If you don't, then guess what? You don't make it. Your sperm don't make it. Your DNA don't make it to the next level, and you die out with yourself, sir. That's why a lot of men donate sperm to the sperm bank so they can find a womb to have everlasting life eventually. Hopefully, they make it. Okay. That's why a lot of men donate blood just in case it gets in a woman and gets to live through her and her DNA and whatever, eternally. You know what I'm saying? So that's why men have to sleep with women in order to reproduce an heir so that they have someone that carried their DNA. They can't do it by themselves. They can't impregnate no sheep. They can't impregnate no farm animals. Okay. They got to come to the womb of the woman for everlasting life. If that's what they want to do, they don't have to. This is their choice too. He said, Beyonce and Jay-Z worship Aleister Crowley and are saying they do it. No, woman said that first. So he's still trying to claim a woman's quote. I do what I want. That was Eve. I'm gonna do what I want. Don't know Aleister Crowley. So you saying the first one to say do what thou wilt was him? I bet you it was a woman. Because that's just a woman's attitude. You know what? I'm gonna do what I want. Forget you. That's straight up a woman, not no man. That's a man emulating a woman. So yeah, I'm gonna do what I want too. All right. Men always trying to claim our quotes. Look, women said it first because Eve did it first. She did what she wanted. God said, don't eat from that tree. Eve said, I do what I want. Adam said, okay, God, I'm going to obey you. Do it. I ain't going to do it. Eve said, do it. He went and did it. So she do what she wants because she is divine. After Crowley just be trying to steal quotes. I'm sure women said that first because it sounded like something a woman would say. I do what I want. Okay. You said he stole, girl. He stole everything he stole was from other cultures and other people. So, you're, if you can't do it first, you're gonna quote it, right? Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said men create life in the labs with technology. They try. They try to create life in the lab with technology because they can't create it from themselves. They are not able to do that. They can't just go and get some stuff and put it in a turkey baster and squirt it and create life. They gotta do a lot of stuff. Okay. They can't go get a condom out the trash can and make it do what it do. Okay. They can't do that. They ain't got the cauldron. Y'all know how some of them women be doing. Ooh, girl, he got money. Go get that out the trash. A man can't go do all of that. You know, all a woman got to do is go get the condom out the trash, wrap her legs around them, go to the sperm bank, use a turkey baster, get a needle, poke some holes in the condom. Look, this is how easy it is for us. We ain't got to do all of that. Okay, freeze it, whatever. So y'all got to go get a whole loan, get funded, build a lab, and do all of that. And it may not even work. All we got to do is go to the trash, wrap our legs around you, and get a needle and poke a hole in the condom. We'll do what we got to do. Stick something in the freezer. It's that easy. Go to the sperm bank, whatever. We ain't need no lab. So the reason why I'm saying this is because men don't realize that women are the portals to the material realm. And everything in the lab and everything that they're touching, even themselves, came out of a woman. Okay. Okay. Touch your hand, man. That came out of a womb. Your hands that are creating came from a woman. Your brain came from a woman. Everything that you're trying to do wouldn't be possible if not for your mother. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So therefore, you can only, and if your bones were found in a field and you could not be identified, they would have to check your DNA using your mother's mitochondrial connection to your DNA. They still got to go back to the mother, even to identify your bones. So no matter how you try to do anything, it's always going to go back to the mother. Always. Always, always, always. And it doesn't matter because we don't really care, but y'all care more than we do. That's the bad part about it. Like we were perfectly great. We were perfectly happy. But since a lot of men weren't, because they weren't a woman, that's when they became mad. I don't know what to tell you. So just be happy and get you a woman or get you a man or whatever you like, and just live your best life as a divine being. Period. That's it. You can claim your own divinity. You don't have to compete with other people or other gods and goddesses. You just claim your own and live your life. That's literally it. So just claim your divinity and stop competing. Hmm. Y'all remember that dude that got that what was it, diamond or something embedded in his head or whatnot, trying to amplify his pineal gland? I mean, if y'all gonna do something, use use something else besides, jealousy. Use your brain. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's what I like. Instead of trying to recreate, why don't you just become what you were supposed to be already? You know. So they say women's pineal glands are larger than men's, and so therefore they have stronger intuition, right? And their frequency is higher. So if you get something that, or you eat something, or you take supplements or elixirs or whatever that increase your frequency, you can do it that way. You know what I'm saying? Increase your intuition, but then you still don't have the, you still have a more logical mind. But when your intuition is increased, then you start to see things different. So increasing your frequency, increasing your intuition is going to help men to become, feel more divine. I'll say that. To feel more divine. Therefore, there's no need to compete with women, or there's no need to be upset with women, and there's no need to try to dominate over women. You can just use what you know to raise your frequency. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Why do men need to be awakened? Because men are what they're taught. They follow instruction. They follow order. They follow logic. It has to make sense. If it doesn't add up, they can't believe it. If they can't prove it, it's not real, right? So they spend a lot of time in labs doing a bunch of, trying to prove something. Men are trying to prove what women already know. Or science tries to prove what quantum physics or um, metaphysics already knows or already is. If men were more intuitive and could see that something is already, they don't need to prove it. The only reason why men try to prove things is to show it to other men. Okay. Or to try to understand why something is. This is why in the old days, like, they used to dissect bodies to try to see what's inside the human body, because they didn't understand it. They didn't understand how a baby could grow inside. They didn't understand what life looked like on the inside. They didn't understand any of that until they cut someone open. But see, a woman can feel it because it's in her. She's connected. You see, they weren't. The only time they were ever connected is when they were in the womb. And so when they were separated from the woman at birth, they could not believe when a woman said, "Oh, I feel, I could communicate with the baby, this, or, I feel life inside of me. Oh, I just know it's going to rain, or I just know this, or I just know that." So they couldn't, why don't I know this stuff? Let me cut up in a woman. Okay, this is how the womb looks. Okay, the baby, this is how the baby is. This is why the, okay, all right, let me cut up in the skull. Okay, oh my gosh, why the woman's skull? Why the woman pineal gland bigger than the man? What's this? What's in here? Some little crystals? What this do? Why is the woman's uh why hers bigger than mine? Why hers bigger than mine? Why hers bigger than mine? Penal envy. They say penis envy. No, ma'am, it's pineal envy. Y'all spelled it wrong. Okay. Y'all wanted the physical. Y'all wanted to dominate physically. There you go. We dominate spiritually, mentally. Y'all have to cut something open to see why we are the way we are. Now y'all know. Y'all gotta cut it open to see the truth because you didn't believe. Now you know why. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Leonardo da Vinci. Thank you for showing them what it is. Sprinkle. Let me see you got that. Yeah. I better tell somebody. Leonardo da Vinci. He said, you know what? Let me see what this is all about. I gotta know. That's the wrong book. Anyway, he had to know. He said women are yeah, he had to know. Do y'all know what organ is the last organ to decay? The uterus is the strongest organ and is the last to be broken down and decay. Period. It is. Yep, the uterus of a woman. So, the green screen is not giving. So hold it back. Yeah. This is what they had to find out. So men were so curious back in the day on why a woman was the way she was that they had to go get a dead body and cut it open to find out the mysteries of what a woman was. He even created a machine, not a machine, but like a table with mirrors so that when a woman lays with her legs open towards the glass, that he could draw from the perspective. So he could draw her anatomy, so he could see what it looked like, because he wanted to use that in symbolism throughout his artwork. Okay. So what happens if a woman get a hysterectomy? Does she give away her power? No, because her pineal gland's still down, baby. But at the same time, You're taking estrogen? You got estrogen? Here you go. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And they say when a man castrates himself, his pineal gland grows larger. Yep. And sometimes, like maybe, yeah, that's true. They chemically castrate themselves now, but yeah. You said it was illegal to open a body? Yeah. But what body you think they opened first? If you was a man and you wanted to open a body to look inside and see what was up in there, what you gonna go get? A man or a woman first? Right. A lot of men have castration fantasy too. It's amazing how many. Oh my God. That's weird. Didn't know that. You said you could still have eggs if you don't have a uterus. You got fallopian tubes. I don't know. You don't have no period though. Okay. But what you still have is your divinity as a woman. You still have your pineal gland. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. A lot of men have. Well, okay, I read that. C-section is cutting the woman open. Men never go through that. Okay. There's more to us than just a uterus. Exactly. It all connects. It all connects. It sucks that everyone wants to be a woman nowadays and we still have to fight just to be us. No. See, that's the whole thing. Y'all are fighting over nothing because if you just claim your divinity and your goddess status, you will never have to fight again. You will just be who you want, be who you are, create what you want. So, for example, they can do all these laws and say you can't do this and you can't do that and try to take away your rights, but they're not taking away everywhere. You can go somewhere else and do what you got to do, you know? And it's only temporary. They can't. And who does it by taking away a woman's right to choose whether to have an abortion or not? Who does that really benefit? Who does that really benefit? Does it benefit the man? Are the man saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy now. If I accidentally get a woman pregnant, she's gonna have my baby. Yes, I'm so happy." Does that benefit men that don't even want kids? Who does that benefit? You said the system that wants slaves. It doesn't benefit a system that wants slaves. because it's a woman's choice. Still it's a woman's choice, because if she don't want that baby, she could go take poison. She could go fall down a flight of stairs. She could do whatever she want to do. You know what I'm saying? She could eat a bunch of oregano. She could do whatever she wants. So it's still her choice, but she just has to take different measures. Mm-hmm. It's still her choice. You just got to take different measures. So they're just taking away the medical choice. She could, like, you know, the medical option. Okay. You said oregano, adrenal, all the foods they tell you not to eat when you get pregnant. Duh. Vitamin C. No. Don't fall down the stairs though, unless you try to sue the place where you falling down the stairs. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Don't fall. Fall strategically. All right. Y'all silly. Cinnamon? No. Wire hangers. Anyway, y'all silly. I just thought of a good idea on my other channel. Like, you accidentally fake get pregnant, now you get a whole vacation. You know I got to fly out. You know I can't get nothing done here. You know I got to go elsewhere. You know I'm gonna need that hotel room. You know I'm gonna need. Girl, if a man wanted an abortion, it's gonna cost him now. Cause she gotta fly. She gotta get flew out to a whole nother state. If she don't live there already, she gotta get the hotel room. You know, it's gonna be a whole thing. All right. Now, here's my thing. If y'all don't believe in that, remember, it's free will, freedom of choice, whatever, whatever. Everybody got a decision to make. So if you don't personally believe in it, then don't do it. So don't worry about it. Choose what's best for you, as you should. Okay. Because a lot of people don't realize that not everybody's life is the same. And so, in addition to the family, it's not going to affect everybody the exact same way. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Do abortions affect women negatively? Do miscarriages affect women negatively spiritually? We got to ask all the questions if we're going to ask the questions. Do miscarriages affect women? Does Plan B affect women? Does abortion affect a woman? Spiritually, does being injured by someone else causing abortion or causing a miscarriage, does that affect you spiritually? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Does an ectopic pregnancy that you have to have removed affect you spiritually? You decide that, ma'am. You're the divine one. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. You said emotionally, maybe? And maybe emotionally? maybe mentally, but it's if you're divine, then you choose how it affects you. If you want it to affect you, if you want to think of it from a different perspective, you know what I'm saying? Hmm. I mean, it could if you wanted to. It could if you wanted it to. Okay. Because think about this. If someone didn't think about it, didn't expand upon it, don't even think about it, didn't feel about it, didn't even remember it, how would it affect them spiritually? It depends on what you want. Okay. Every time you have SCX, it's more of a risk for us. Exactly. And y'all have to remember back in the old days, before medical, was advanced, a lot of women died in childbirth. So even bringing life to the planet was a danger to the woman. That's why, you know, uh, now it's very rare because of, medical advances. But at the same time, back in the old days, to give birth was a miracle, like for real, for real. Okay. Now people just taking it for granted. Okay. You, it's still dangerous. Yeah, it is, but not as dangerous as it once was. Mhm. The chances of survival are better, but not 100% still. But you can still make it. Okay. Okay. So a lot of people don't realize, like, when I used to be a mortician, I don't want to bring up any sad memories for people who have lost or miscarried. So if you're still feeling some sort of way, maybe turn the volume or click off for a second while I talk about this. Get ready to talk about something. Um, so if you miscarry after a certain amount of time and the baby, like I think it's 4 months, I think. Yeah, I think it's 20 weeks or 4 months. You have to have some sort of like funeral, or you have to have a funeral home pick it up, the baby, and burial or cremation, right? They're not going to dispose of this for you because it's formed. And so if you miscarry at a certain, after 20 weeks, 4 months, whatever, um, you got to take it to, or a funeral home has to come pick up the remains of the child. Okay. And you would think like it would be wrapped up in a blanket, but it's literally in a bucket because uh, when I picked them up, they were in buckets. Okay. And floating in a liquid. And being a mortician, I have to look at these sort of things. And it hasn't been formed all the way, and the head was still stretched. Would look like what you see, aliens. It would look like an alien being, and the eyes were like slanted and all dark and black still, and it just did not look like a human baby because it wasn't fully developed. And so I've seen a lot of things, in my life, and I've seen so many things, and so I've seen the insides and the outsides of humans. I've seen humans turned inside out. I've seen everything. Okay. I've seen life. I've seen death. I've seen birth. I've seen murder. Well, the effects of murder. I've seen suicide, effects of suicide. I've seen children, adults, old people, everything. Okay. People that have been forgotten, that rotted in their apartment and wasn't found for 2 weeks in the summertime with no AC. I've seen it all. Okay. So when people try to tell me stuff, when people try to tell me what to do, who I am, why I'm not this, and that, and I've seen it all, I'm like, yeah, if y'all would see what I've seen, y'all would be claiming your divinity as well. It's okay. You would literally claim your divinity as well. Because a corpse, when you have a hands on a corpse, when you touching it, a corpse, it's no longer a human being. The energy is gone. It's literally like you're touching a doll. Okay. This is why you have to realize your divinity now. The smirk is gone. The Joker smile. You know how a little Joker smile? If I was literally a corpse, it wouldn't be there. Okay? Because that's what you create. That's what you animate and make yourself. You are divine within, period. So if you're walking around feeling like you're not divine, you're not a god, and you're not a goddess, and ABC and D, then you're the living dead. You're the living dead. Literally, you're a zombie. Because you haven't woken up to your divinity. So wake up to your divinity before you realize too late. You don't want to wake up to your divinity. You ain't got much life to live left. You got to go on and move on to the next level. Like, dang, I should have woke up to my divinity when I was younger because I could have done so much more. Okay. Did it work? What? Did it work? Traumatize me? No. It woke me up fast. It woke me up quick. You can't. Did I like the cut up bodies and stuff? I was more interested in learning and seeing things from a perspective that most people don't get to see. Okay. That's divine within itself. If you think about what divine is, or what omnipresence is, or what the source is, it is a perspective from every perspective. So microscopes, dissections, looking at things from within, even though it is a logical, masculine, thing, it's still a perspective. It's still a perspective. So whether it's a feminine perspective or a masculine perspective, it's still a perspective, which is always going to be divine. A perspective that you don't get to see on an everyday normal basis, that you don't have access to, that you are limited I saw. And so therefore, I have way more mental or images to use to connect dots, to see more, to understand more, to decode more, to see what most of a lot of people can't see unless they know anatomy, unless they've seen anatomy, unless they've seen the perspectives of inside of a corpse or inside of a body or whatever. You can't see these things if you've never seen them. So a lot of times people don't realize when I'm seeing something, I've seen that. Like when I was looking at something in one of these books by Leonardo da Vinci, I said, that looks like the anterior view of a skull that has been cut open from, this certain angle. Just like how those people be talking about the eye of Ra is literally the side of the brain. When you look at it from, this side, if you slice a brain in half, look, here go the eye right here. Okay. If no one had ever seen that before, they couldn't connect them dots, right? So if you've literally seen the inside of a body, if you've literally sat there, touched it, opened it, closed it, prepared it, looked at certain things that most people don't see, when you see something, you're going to say, oh my goodness, that looks just like this. And then more awareness is available to you. You see a sociopath. It's not. Medical profession has control over the emotions to honor the dignity of the dead. Get it? Da, 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 da. Well, they pretend, but after a while, you get very numb to all of that. You have to really just. It's an act after a certain point because people get numb to their profession. Okay, it's not really sociopath. It's just you got to do what you got to do. Okay. Just like every profession, you have to get used to it. Let me see what y'all are talking about. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You said, can you talk about being a mother and raising children? Yes, teach your children to be divine. Teach your children that they are divine. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Teach your children they're gods or goddesses. Period. And that you're not supposed to worship them. They're just supposed to recognize their own divinity and create. You said, do I communicate with the spirit of the dead people? I used to play a game back in the day, yes. It's on my stories for, when I was a mortician on my other channel, the playlist. But yeah, all the time. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we did all the stuff. We did everything. Can you talk about portals of childbirth? Um, the womb, every goddess, every god, all came from a womb. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. You said all the rumors are true. What rumors? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Do I recommend to work as? No, I don't recommend to work as a mortician. Not for long term, especially as a woman. Mm-mm. That because, well, if you plan to have children, no. if you plan to have children, I say no. Unless you already have kids, no. If you already have kids, do what you got to do, ma'am. But if you're young and you haven't had children yet, no. Yeah, them killicles. You're not going to be able to work pregnant anyway. Mhm. Would I do something relating to mortuary forensics works if you wanted to have a business in the field or tie your occult knowledge? No, sprinkle, sprinkle. Mhm. No, I feel like even if someone is deceased, they still deserve the respect. You know what I'm saying? And their bodies aren't for experimentation with the occult or whatnot. Because think about this. If you died, would you want somebody doing stuff with you? Unless you sign up for it. But would you want somebody messing with you? So, no. um, Women are already connected to both sides, so she doesn't really need to exploit the dead. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah, so yeah, I gotta go soon. Just know everyone is divine. Please stop acting like you're not. Please stop acting like victims. Please stop trying to worship stuff. Please just know thyself. Okay? Come on now. Y'all too old for this. We got too much knowledge. We got too much knowledge to still be sitting up here thinking we are not divine. We got to know. If you don't know, please know. I got to go, y'all. I will see y'all on the next one. Sprinkle, sprinkle. If y'all got an argument about it, if y'all don't know, then stay where you at. Stay where you at. Stay like Adam before Eve woke him up. All right, sprinkle, sprinkle. I'll see y'all on the next one.